In this session, I helped a B2B AI founder struggling to scale past 6 grand a month figure out how to reach 20 grand in monthly recurring revenue by refining outreach and content strategy. This person's service is AI-powered LinkedIn lead qualification and appointment setting for B2B service businesses. Let's get into it. So here's a problem context. This founder isn't sure if her messaging and content are resonating. Cold outreach shows some signs of working, but conversions are low. Content brings views, but not paying clients. And then it goes into solving for cold outreach. I ask her, got it. So you want to grow from 6 grand a month to 20 grand a month in monthly recurring revenue, and you've already tried cold outreach and content, but you're unsure if it's resonating with the right audience, right? Client says, yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm doing the right things, but I don't know what's hitting or missing. I then say, let's break this down step by step. First, is your cold outreach currently working? Client says, somewhat. I'm booking a few calls, but conversions are inconsistent. Definitely not as strong as before. I then say, gotcha. Have you tried identifying the LTV, the lifetime value for the client you did convert through cold outreach? Client says, yes. One of them stayed for 4 months at $1,200 a month, so about $4,800. I then say, nice. That's a solid lifetime value. Are you willing to sacrifice customer acquisition cost for higher LTV if we automate outreach? Client says, yes, I'd be okay with that as long as I can focus more on content and delivery. And then it goes into shifting to content strategy. I say, all right, let's switch gears to content. You mentioned posting on LinkedIn and YouTube. Are you getting traction, but just not converting? Client says, right. Some videos get over 100 views. It's not bad, but the right people don't seem to be converting. I say, okay, so how are your long form videos structured? Are they built from your short form clips or built from scratch? Client says mostly built from scratch. I do short form too, but long form content hasn't brought in any direct clients. I then say you might actually be hard selling instead of soft selling without realizing it. If your value driven videos still include call to actions, they may be creating friction. Are you presenting a desired future state that resonates or just listing features? Client said, probably features, if I'm being honest. I thought educating would be enough. I then say, try this. Remove soft call to actions from the educational content, then create a single long-form sales letter video, a VSL, that hard sells. One that dives deep into the current situation, desired outcome, and emotional drivers. Use that as a centralized call to action while the rest of your content focuses solely on value. The client says that makes sense. I've never done a full VSL before. I'll try it. Now let's get into fulfillment and churn discussion. I say, now let's touch fulfillment. You said clients churn after 3 to 4 months. That's likely the typical AI implementation cycle. Are they still experiencing new problems that you could solve? Client says, yeah, they usually solve one set of problems and then their ops evolve. I think you're right. New constraints show up later. I then say, so instead of forcing a monthly retainer, consider switching to one-time implementation pricing, then upsell follow-on automations later. Or if you do want monthly recurring revenue, you could license what you've already built, package the solution with accountability, community, or ongoing system health checks. Client says that's a good idea. I like the licensing model tied to systems I've already validated. And then it goes into the chosen path forward by the client. Client says automate cold outreach to improve lifetime value focus, reframe long-form content as problem-solving value, remove soft call to actions and use centralized virtual sales letter, and consider licensing frameworks for future monthly recurring revenue. And then the client comes up with the inputs for the next 2 days. Client says draft virtual sales letter, produce content from client solutions, and deploy new outreach messaging. I hope you guys found this valuable. If you did and you want to see more of me on your home feed, hit that subscribe button. Take care.